Hi everyone and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be creating this adorable snowman card using a brand new product from Gina K Designs. She has a brand new release for October 2025, including some brand new ink colors, which I am going to introduce to you here. Here are the brand new colors. We have Kelly Green, Petunia, Marigold, and Cadet Blue. I did get a chance to swatch all of these out, and unfortunately, this particular stamp set, which is Autumn Wishes, that has that kind of swoosh of paint, is a retired stamp set, but you may have something in your collection similar to this if you like this for swatching. And this is just a beautiful mix of colors. I'm going to actually show you my swatch book and how they compare to the other colors that are already in Gina's collection. There's also ink cubes for this, cardstock pack, and re-inkers. Now let's check out these colors in comparison to what's already in the line. So first we have Petunia, and I'm just comparing it to the other colors I have like Passionate Pink, Medium Carnation, different shades of pink. You can see how there really isn't anything like it already in the collection. I think this pairs really well with Medium Carnation and even Dusty Rose, but you can see the difference between Petunia and Passionate Pink. Next, we have Marigold, and this is a beautiful kind of like I'm calling it like a honey color. It is beautiful. When I stamped it out originally, it almost looked orange, but as it dried back, it took on these beautiful honey tones. And again, you can see there isn't anything like that in the collection. Then we have Kelly Green, which I find to be like a really true grass green. I was curious to see what it looked like next to Lucky Clover. It is a little bit darker than Lucky Clover, but I think that is a great match if you wanted to do some ombre ink blending. And then we have a Cadet Blue, which once again does not already have a color kind of close to it in the collection. I would say the closest to it, or maybe a next step darker, would be Tranquil Teal. I find that there's maybe a little bit more green in there than I thought originally. So here are the brand new colors in the October 2025 release. Now, for my project today, I'm going to be using the Snowflake Kisses stamp set. It is the incentive set right now. It's one of the choices in the incentive program if you spend $75 or more, or you can pick between those two stencils that I had shared. So you have the option which incentive you want to receive once you hit that $75 or more in a purchase. I just really fell in love with these snowmen. And if you do happen to qualify for this, make sure to go back and add in the coordinating die because then you can die cut out the sentiments, the snowflakes, and the snowman just like I'm going to. I'm going to do some coloring with alcohol markers today. So I'm stamping this in an alcohol friendly ink. And I did the sentiment, which yes, I know is upside down, but I'm die cutting it out anyway. And the snowman in black ink so I can color those in with my alcohol markers. And now I'm going to stamp these snowflakes in this brand new Cadet Blue. So I forgot this is a brand new ink pad. I squished probably a little bit too hard on my snowflakes. You want to give this just a gentle tap of ink. Don't overdo it when you have a brand new ink pad. And the snowflakes, yes, of course, are scattered, but again, I planned on using the coordinating die for this. My coloring today, I'm going to be using my OLO markers. So for my snowman body, I am using BG 2.3 and BG 2.1, which is a very, I would say, kind of tealish shade. I'm adding the darker color on the one side of the snowman's face and on the side of his body. The center snowman, I'm doing it on both sides of the face and under the hat because those are the areas I'm thinking are going to be casting a bit of a shadow. And then also where the two snowmen are overlapping on his body, I added a little bit of color there. Now I have my snowman on the right-hand side, and I'm adding that darker shade and blending it out on the right-hand side of the snowman. So my highlight area is really in the center. Now, these shades for OLO markers are a little bit too teal for me. They're almost too bright. So I brought in my Copic BG10 to kind of help smooth that out a little bit. I brought in an orange just to color in my little carrot noses. And then for the hat and the scarf, I decided to go with some blues. I tried to find something that was similar to Cadet, but in the end, this ended up being pretty dark. I still use it, but it's pretty dark in comparison to the Cadet. The color I'm using is B4.7, B4.6 and B4.3. So again, I'm adding shading pretty much to one side of the hat so that I have kind of a light area and a dark area. I did try and focus the B4.7 in the areas of the scarf where there were like the little scrunched up areas of the scarf, and then tried to keep the highlight more in between those areas. So I really go off of the artist drawn lines when it comes to some of those areas. Then again, just kind of finishing off with the scarf. Now, I'm also going to come in with a WG3 and a WG1 in the OLO markers to add a little bit of shading to the hats. And as I was looking at this, my snowmen just didn't look right. They just looked too teal in comparison to the blue hats. I usually am okay with my snowmen like this if I have a different color like a red or a green scarf. So instead, I brought in some shades of purple and I went over those colors. So that was a BV 1.2 and a BV 1.1 to help kind of make it look not so teal. And then I'm going to bring in my 0 for an OLO. And that's really going to kind of push the color. So I'm going to try and take away the color a little bit so they aren't so blue. I think it ended up working out really well. So now all my coloring is done. I am going to take the coordinating die, line it up over the image, the snowflakes, and the sentiment, hold it down with low tack tape, and run this through my Intri-Cut die cut machine. And remember that the die set is something that you'll have to pick up separately. Now, if you don't qualify to receive this as an incentive, they will be released individually on the website at the next release. To start assembling my card, I created a side folding card base, and then I'm going to add some tape runner to the top of that. I took a piece of the Cadet Blue Cardstock cut to 4¼ by 5½, and I added that to the front. I have a white piece of cardstock cut to 3¼ by 4½, I believe it is. I aligned it with some foam tape to kind of pop that up on the front. And then I'm going to use my snowman as a guide and start adding in my snowflakes because I wanted the snowflakes to kind of be trickling down around my snowmen. So this is really a clean and simple card in my opinion. I'm not adding a ton to it, not a lot of blending or stenciling or anything, but you absolutely could create a full-on winter scene with ink blending. That Cadet Blue would be a beautiful color to ink blend with. But I just really love the simplicity of the design, and those snowmen were so adorable. I can never say no to snowmen because they are just so cute, along with snowflakes. It's hard to say no to a good snowflake stamp set. So I added on my snowflakes and the sentiment with liquid glue, and I'm popping up my snowmen using that thin foam tape. I'm going to finish off by adding a few white highlights with a gel pen to the hat and the scarf. So that's going to finish off my card project. This is using the incentive set for October 2025. It's one of the incentives that you can choose with a qualifying purchase of $75 or more. If you're interested in any of these products that I showed today, or even the brand new ink colors, plus be sure to check out the rest of the release, I will have all of that linked down below in my video description and over on my blog. I have a few more ideas using brand new products from this release that I want to share with you. So if you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the bell to be notified when new videos are posted. And thank you so much for joining me today. Here is another video that I think you will enjoy.